Kenny, you've obviously gone against Quinyon and Cooper plenty last season. Where have you seen them over these last 2 days make the biggest advancement in their game?
Yeah, I was talking to Q a little bit in between some of the periods. Just his understanding of the defense now, being a year in, having a full year of experience, and then kind of understanding what offenses are trying to do, attacking the defense that they play. So I think he's done a great job. He obviously was phenomenal last year for them. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does this year.
How are you coming along with the hamstring, and where are you at, and what's the outlook?
Yeah, I feel like I'm turning the corner a little bit this week, which is really positive. I was able to run a little bit more yesterday, so I'm getting there. Just taking a day at a time. Obviously it's extremely frustrating. I'm only be able to get like 7-on-7 lately and some one-on-ones, but just focus on trying to take advantage of those as much as I can.
Do you feel like next week you should be able to, knock on wood, be able to get out there?
I can't say that yet. It'll be close.
Have they told you, hey, anything can still happen, and keep your head in this competition because it's not over yet? Is that the narrative?
It was never even mentioned. I think we're all just going a day at a time. Going through camp. They'll make that decision whenever they want to make that decision. But I'm just trying to put my best foot forward on the reps that I do get right now.
How did it feel being back here?
It was great. It was great. You have a special season like that. You kind of build a bond with people for life. So being able to see everyone that I played with last year, coaches, trainers. I went in the cafeteria and saw all the people back there, and you got to give some hugs. So it was great. It holds a special place in my heart for that year. Really glad we were back here for this camp to go see everybody.
We haven't had a chance to talk to you really since the Super Bowl. What did it mean to you to be out there late in that game?
Yeah, it was awesome. The 5-year-old in me would have been going crazy. Back in the day. I remember watching Donovan McNabb. All those old days when he was making his runs, and to be able to be a part of that team was awesome. Having my parents there, my family, my wife. It was really cool.
You were obviously a big part of that quarterback room last year, especially with Terry McCain. What have you noticed in his development? Do you still talk to him? Just how's the relationship?
Yeah, we just talked a little bit yesterday and today. I think the system, I don't know if it's changing or a little different. Just kind of talking about, talking through some of those things, talking again about our defense that he was playing out there today. Tanner's an awesome guy, man. I know he's going to do a great job for them. He's prepared for it. He's a true pro, goes about his business the right way, so really happy for him.
Kenny, how bizarre is it, or I don't even know if that's the right word, but after you get injured, then Dylan gets injured, now Shador is injured, and just this whole four-way quarterback competition took these unexpected twists.
Yeah, it's a wild game. It's football. Everyone. I got my own problems to worry about. I'm just focused on my recovery. You never want to see anyone go down. We all want to be out there competing, so it's a tough deal. But I know each guy is trying to get back out there and be 100%.
How has, Kenny, I don't know if frustration is the right word, but I know you've mentioned it a couple of times. So just managing that part of dealing with the soccer.
Yeah, I try to give myself 24 hours to be as angry as I could be, and then just turn the page. Every day, doing as much as I can. It truly is a 24/7 grind to try to get back 100%. So I'm doing absolutely everything I can. Hopefully I can push it to get out there. I want to be smart, but at the same time I want to be out there competing. So you're kind of like walking that fine line.
I know I think you talked about this back in the offseason, but just the experiences you had last year in Philly, what ways have you brought that to this team, this locker room, this quarterback room?
Yeah, I think I talked to Tommy a lot about what we did last year, and I think he does a great job of looking at what other teams do, what other systems and concepts have been really successful for other teams. And he asked me a lot. He'll be like, what were your favorite 5 from Philly, favorite 5 from Pittsburgh? I'm sure he's done the same with Joe. He's just always looking to make the system better and put our guys in the best places to succeed. So, I think we go back and forth on a lot of the things that we did. We pull up tape. We kind of go through it that way. So we have a quarterback room with a lot of knowledge and experience. With Joe and Deshaun's played a lot of football too. So, I try to add as much as I can. So I think that's probably the main way.
What were you really excited about in terms of your progress in those first 4 practices? It seemed like you were really coming along there.
Yeah, I felt, I think I touched on it before, the 5 weeks at home I really just dedicated to studying the playbook and going through it on the field. Training hard, being in the best shape that I felt like I have been in my life for the competition. So I came back ready to go. Obviously the injury is unfortunate, but I feel like I'm keeping that same thing in the 7-on-7 reps that I get. Just trying to be as accurate as I can be, make the right read, and move on to the next play. So that's really my mindset right now.
Kenny, I'm sorry if they asked you
I thought they did a great job. I thought, there's positives, there's negatives. There's always going to be that. We definitely want to clean up the pre-snap stuff, something the coaches are harping on, that we need to get cleaned up as an offense. But I thought it was a good battle for both days. I think there was highs on both sides. There were some lows on both sides. But the competitiveness, the want-to was there. I really liked the way we competed. Guys were going at it, so it was a positive.
Especially in a setting like this, how much are you staying involved in the conversation with the other quarterback?
Heavily. Yeah, as heavily as I can be, because I'm not getting those reps. I kind of stand in the back and go through the checks, go through the cadence, trying to steal as much as I can. And then when those guys come off, I try to help them out too, tell them what I saw, ask them what they saw, and kind of talk through the play. Then you have the meetings again to go over that and kind of have that open dialogue. So it's been good from that standpoint.
I know you have your own issues to deal with, but did Shador, seek you out a little bit just for any kind of consolation, or did you have any words of advice from him for the oblique thing that happened yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, we're in the training room together and we just talk about it. I mean, he's awesome. He's got a great attitude about it. He'll be back out there, as soon as he can be, just like I can. So I really like his attitude and how he's going about his business.
Kenny, Harold fan had a big day today, especially he had a drop early, kind of came back from it. How have you seen him progress, and just having two big targets like him and Njoku, how does that help with
Yeah, I think we have an unbelievable tight end room, obviously, with Dave. Everyone knows what he can do. But Harold's really stepped up. I'm really impressed with the intensity that he's such a quiet guy. And then he goes in there and really competes hard, and he'll take on a Mike Backer and run plays, and a DM one-on-one. He'll take him on with no problem, and then go out there and run great routes. So I'm really impressed with Harold and what I think he can bring to this team, if he stays on the track that he's on right now.
Very good.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Good to see you.